God evening, guys. It is May 6th. God calling Sublime Audacity. God eventide the fertile Glade. And in the fertile Glade, we have a quote: "Seek and you shall find." All right, guys. May 6th, God calling Sublime Audacity. Let's see what God's got to say. The way is long and weary. It is weary. It is a weary world. So many today are weary. Come unto me, and I will give you rest. My children, who range yourselves under my flag, you must see that on it are inscribed those words, the Son of Man. Whatever the world is feeling, I must feel. I, the Son of Man. You are my followers. So, the weariness of today must be shared by you. The weary and heavy laden must come to you and find that rest that you found in me. So basically, God's saying right now that just as it's God's duty to be there for us, right, to support us, to be able to be a place of confiding for us, we have to also be that for other people, right? My children, my followers, must be prepared not to sit on my right hand and on my left, but to drink of the cup that I drink of. So we have to be prepared, right? God is preparing us to serve his purpose in our life and do that unto others. If that makes sense, right? Like, we are called to follow God, to learn from God, to become more godly, to learn how to truly love, to learn how to truly be perfect, and help other people find that same path. Give that unto other people, right? We're not called to be sitting on God's left or right hand, as he says. That kind of means, like, we're not called to just always be served by God, always be lifted up, always be propped up, but to sit at the same table as God and drink of the cup that he drinks out of, which is ultimate sign of respect. We are meant to get to that point where we can be on par with Jesus, where we can actually be truly perfect and help other people get to that point. Poor world, teach is that there's only one cure for all its ills: union with me. Dare to suffer, dare to conquer. Be filled with my sublime audacity. Remember that. Claim the unclaimable. Just what the world would think impossible can always be yours. Remember, my children, sublime audacity. Sublime audacity. So that's what it's talking about today, right? That this last line really sums it up. Teach it that there's only one cure for all ills in union with me. Dare to suffer, dare to conquer. Be filled with my sublime audacity. Remember that. Claim the unclaimable, guys. So we have to be able to get to that point where we can sit with God, where we can teach from God's perspective, where we can truly be fully godly, fully loving, right? Where we are able to use our faith that God's given us to the highest extent that we can, right? And then we have to be able to go into the world and help it, teach it, cure it in union with God, right? We it's okay if we suffer, it's okay to conquer, right? But we just have to be filled with that sublime audacity. That's what it's talking about. God eventide, the fertile glade. Seek and you shall find. As a mother hiding from her child puts herself in the way of being found, so with me. So the finding of me and of the treasures of my kingdom may not always depend upon ardent intent securing attainment, but upon the mere setting out on the quest. Is this a comfort to you? When you set out upon a time of seeking, I place myself in your way, and as sometime arid path of prayer becomes a fertile glade, in which you can surprise to find your search is soon over. Thus, mutual joy. So God's saying right here that sometimes he's going to have to put himself in your way. Sometimes God's going to have to put himself not in harm's way, right? I mean, that's part of it, but not only in harm's way, but in your way, right? He's going to have to block you from going down a certain path, right? From going down a road that's not meant for you, right? He wants you to go down the most sublime road you can, the most superb road you can, right? And the road that's meant for you. So sometimes he's going to be able to block what you're doing, right? He's going to try to stop you and divert you away from it. And it's hard. That's a struggle that we have to learn. We have to be able to witness and see, okay, this isn't what he needs from me. Let me pivot, right? And even if that's not what he needs from you, let you pivot again, right? Because if it's not for you, it's against you. Because if it's not for God, it's against you, right? It's like it's actively acting against you in your life. So if there's ever things that you're really struggling with, right, that seem like they're just always pushing back, right? Pray on it. That might not be for you, right? That's what God's saying here. When you set up a time of seeking, I place myself in your way. And then sometime an arid path of prayer becomes a fertile glade in which you are surprised to find your search is soon over. Thus, mutual joy. So not only is he doing that to divert you, but also to protect you, right? Because if you go down this path, if you do these things, then it might not be the best for you. You might not get to the point where you can be sitting at the cup, drinking with the Lord, right? Where you're not always sitting in his hand, but where you're actually on par and you're able to help other people in the same way Jesus and God were able to, right? So, guys, try to get to that point where you're able to just drink from the same cup as God, right? Claim the unclaimable. Remember what's yours and have that sublime audacity. I love you guys so much. That's May 6th. And with that, I will say amen.